My name is Brian Carmen, and like many of you, I am connected to farming. I believe that the family farm was established by God at the beginning of creation of man in the Garden of Eden, and that we as a society are killing or at least standing by as this way of life dies. I intend to show that this way of life was ordained by God in the book of Genesis, and the fact that some believe farming is just too hard of a way to make a living, and that industrialization has hurt the family farm. Mega farms and the mega stores that they provide farm products to have monopolized production of certain farm goods and thus have done harm to the family farming operation. And this brings me to my first point of discussion. In Genesis chapter 2, verses 7, 8, and 15, we are instructed by God to be stewards of the animals that He has created. And it says, "And the Lord God formed man of the dust of the ground, and He breathed life into his nostrils. And man became a living soul. And the Lord planted a garden eastward in Eden. And there He put the man whom He had formed. And the Lord took up the man and put him in the Garden of Eden to dress it and to keep it." This is the first recorded history of the family farm, a job almost as old as time itself, a way of life that has molded our great country as well as our world. The family farm has long been a place where traditional values could be instilled by parents and grandparents, a place where lessons of gratitude were taught in times of plenty, and a place where perseverance was learned in times of drought and famine. In recent years, however, the family farm has been abandoned because of several factors, such as the belief that farming is just too hard a way of living to remain engaged in. In an article entitled "Who Wants to Farm" by Duncan Green, the answer is an alarming almost no one. In this article, Mr. Green states the idea of facing the challenges of their parents to simply make a living. Many farm kids would rather seek education in order to gain some other type of employment to provide for their needs and wants. Mr. Green attributes the breaking away as being due to the spread of communications and the media of the alternatives to farming. And education is a ticket to a better job and an easier way of life. It also seems, according to Mr. Green, that some of us parents are responsible for wanting our children to leave this hard lifestyle for a more predictable and less labor-intensive way of earning a living. Oftentimes, this exodus to higher education leads to jobs that are more urban than rural. In post-World War II, the United States underwent a change in culture. A new age of industrialization and mechanization came about. Our country was in an age of prosperity that had never been experienced before by the masses. This was due in part to the industry that had sprung up as a result of the war effort. Factories that had once produced munitions and armaments were now focused on meeting the needs of the public who had at their disposal new forms of credit, such as credit cards, revolving charge accounts, and easy payment plans. This in turn spurred a demand for consumer goods such as dishwashers, radios, cars, as well as new homes for these new urban families to live in. In the year 1956, this calling away to the urban lifestyle caused the American farm population to decrease by 10% in that year alone. And nearly six decades later, the age of the average American farmer is 58.3 years of age. Many of us parents want our children to experience a better life than we ourselves did. But in doing so, are we really instilling good work ethics? I think Paul Harvey said it best in his poem, "So God Made a Farmer," and I quote, "Somebody who'd bail a family together with the soft, strong bonds of sharing, who would laugh and then sigh, and then reply with smiling eyes when his son says he wants to spend his life doing what his dad does. So God made a farmer." These words always bring a tear to my eyes. I think of a farmer not fortunate enough to hear them spoken by a son or daughter. With the influx of people living farm life to pursue urban lifestyles came the growth of mega stores like Walmart and Costco. These mega retailers control huge market shares in our economy, and thus in an effort to keep up with their demand, huge factory farms have begun to emerge. These factory farms are enormous in size, the largest of which encompasses some 22,500,000 acres of land and is home to a herd of 100,000 cows. This super dairy, because of its sheer size and volume, has an operating ratio that could never be matched even by the most efficient family farm. Because of the large volume of output in such farms, they can sell their products at a cheaper price and thus undercutting small family-run farms. Farming, particularly family farming, was outlined in the Bible by God in the book of Genesis. However, this sacred institution is in danger of becoming extinct. Factors such as industrialization and mega farms and retail giants are working against us. We even as parents are encouraging our sons and daughters at times to seek an easier way of life. In conclusion, I want to leave you with the words of William Jennings Bryan, as I feel he summarized the plight of the family farm and it is facing and the outcome that can be expected if we allow this historic way of life to die. And he said, "Burn down your cities and leave our farms, and your cities will spring up again as if by magic. But destroy our farms, and the grass will grow in the streets of every city in the country." Thank you.